Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? It has been a little while since we sat and talked about one of my favorite topics, relationships. Okay, and I got a lot to talk about, so let's just get into it. What we're talking about today is insecurities. And as you can see from the title, I entitled this, Ladies, Your Insecurity is Showing. Now, the reason I got that, as I was thinking about this topic and thinking about what I wanted to name it, I started thinking about how in our lives and in our relationships, how our insecurities start to show at times. And I thought about how back in the day, inevitably, your mama, your aunt, one of the old missionaries at church, somebody would tell you that your slip was showing. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't know what a slip is. If you're probably 28, 26 and under, you don't know what a slip is. But those of you who are a little more seasoned, like I am, you remember slips, right? I still own one. I still wear one. I rarely wear a slip, but I wore one like 2 Sundays ago because my dress was see-through. But those of you who don't know, it's an undergarment to shield you from people seeing all your unmentionables, right? So a lot of times your slip would hang just a little lower than your dress, and somebody would tell you, baby, your slip is showing. And you'd adjust it up here, or if it's a half slip, you pull it up. So that's what we're going to talk about, not your slip. We're going to talk about insecurities and how sometimes, ladies, our insecurities are showing. I'm going to give you 5 characteristics of insecurity. First of all, just in general. Then I'll go into how our insecurity shows in relationships. Then I'll just give you a few pointers how to build your self-esteem. And I believe that one of the worst things for a man is to deal with the insecure woman. Brothers, men, I don't care if you're a brother from another mother. Am I right or am I wrong? It's hard dealing with the insecure woman. It's taxing dealing with the insecure woman. It's a deterrent dealing with the insecure woman. You don't even want to date her. Let's more marry her, because you know that is a burden to carry, dealing with the insecure woman. This is how you know if you're an insecure woman. First of all, you don't like yourself. It seems so basic, right? But it's so unfortunate, and it saddens me that there are so many women, people in general, but especially women, who don't like themselves. Number 2, you don't like other women. When you find a woman who don't like other women, she's insecure about herself. You know, we can argue this point. You can leave your comments below. You can tell me how you don't have any lady friends because women are this and women are that. But if you don't like women, if you don't as far as having them for your BFFs, then you're insecure. Number 3, when you always comparing yourself, that is insecurity. When you always comparing yourself, don't compare yourself to others. My videos get 200-300 views. Do I wish they get thousands of views like Miss P? Yes, I wish they did. But I can't compare myself to Miss P. Miss P is a different age bracket. Miss P is a different creativity level. And not just her, there are a whole lot of other people, but she's one of my faves. But I can't go comparing myself to her, to other YouTubers, or to other people in general, and get down on myself and not be my personal best because I'm not reaching the certain height or certain notability or notoriety. Is notability a word? Notoriety, as other YouTubers or whatever. So don't compare yourself. And I just saw this amazing quote that I liked it on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm so blessed one on there. But someone put up a textgram, and it says, "Comparison is the thief of joy," and that's by Theodore Roosevelt. Did you all get that? Comparison is the thief of joy. If you want your joy to be stolen, continue to compare yourself with others. Number 4, that personal wealth and material things, you think that that is direct correlation to a person's character or to your character. All of that stuff and material stuff does not directly correlate to your character. You're trying to cover up the fact that you're insecure with stuff. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with designer. So don't think that material possessions is what make a man, or what make you, or what make people, or when we look at the people on TV and we envy them because they have all this material wealth, and we think that that's what makes character and integrity and those things that really should matter in life. A lot of times people are using those things to cover up their insecurities and their deficiencies. Not always, like I said, don't get me wrong, not always, but quite often. And number 5, and lastly for this part, is when you possess or demonstrate some or all of these emotional characteristics. When you are loudmouth, if you're a loudmouth woman, take a look. The louder the woman, the more she's trying to cover up. So I'm not just saying because when you talk, you speak loudly. I just mean when you're loudmouth, always loud, always talking, always obnoxious, always have to be the center of the party, and the party, hey, the party don't start till I arrive. I mean, you are covering up a lot of insecurities. When you look for the loudest person in the place, more than likely that's the person with the least amount of self-esteem. I'm just saying, hey, we constantly rude. You're rude with the person who checks you into a hotel. You're rude with the convenience store clerk. You're rude with the people at work, your coworkers. You're rude with the bank teller. You're just rude for no good reason. There's really no reason to ever be rude, but you're just rude, and especially rude to those people who you think have no value. That means you are insecure. You are insecure about something when you just feel like other people, because of what they do or the amount of money they make or don't make, that you feel like because they're no value, it's okay to be rude to them. And being rude to them somehow, mysteriously, miraculously make you look like you got it all together. You are insecure. If you're rude to people all the time, you better check yourself. You better check your insecurity, because your insecurity is showing. If you're controlling, if you are quick-tempered, just always, anything sets you off. If you're arrogant, if you're always gossiping about people, and if you're defensive, oh my goodness, nobody can even talk to you about anything because you're always so defensive. If you're envious, you can't like a person's video. You gotta always do a thumbs down. I mean, people will come to your video and thumbs down every one of your videos. It's like, why do you come to my video just to thumbs down? I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's your insecurity that's showing. Your insecurity is showing. Now, I'm not saying just because you thumbs down a video that you're insecure, but I'm telling you, if you constantly go to the same person's page and watch all their videos and thumbs down their videos, honey, your insecurity is showing. Okay, so let's go to relationships. These are some things that when I say your slip is showing, your insecurity is showing, this is showing, and it's obvious to this man, and he does not want to get involved with you, or he's already involved with you and he's trying to figure out how he can get uninvolved with you because your insecurity is showing and you're running him off. He's gotten invested, his heart has gotten invested, he's liking you, he's digging you, he may be even starting to love you, or maybe he loves you. He's like, I love this woman, but her insecurity is showing and it's killing me. Okay. Unwarranted suspicion. You're suspicious about everything he does. You're checking his everything. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with keeping your eyes on a brother. I've been knowing my husband 26 years. We've been married 8 of those. No, I've been knowing him 27 years. Yeah, and we've been married 8 of those years. And I got some eyes on that brother. But I'm talking about constantly, consistently checking his Facebook, posting stuff on his Facebook so all the other women know that he is mine. Checking his emails, checking his cell phones, checking his text messages. If you are constantly doing that, first of all, there is no trust in the relationship, and y'all don't need to be together anyway. But second of all, if you're doing that, honey, your insecurity is showing. Your insecurity is really showing. It's really showing. And if that man don't tell you, I'm telling you, take it from me, he is getting sick and tired of it. And when you start wondering why he's slipping away, why he's pulling away, why he's not acting like he used to act, why he doesn't seem to be as interested, sometimes men are not as verbal as us. He's not going to always tell you it's because your insecurity is showing. He might not even know how quite to pinpoint what it is. Why is he slipping away from you? Why is he getting tired of dealing with these things? It's because your insecurity is showing and he's pulling away. I'm telling you, ladies, I'm telling you what I know for sure. Number 2, in relationship, you're controlling and you're using weapons of mass destruction. You're using weapons, because us ladies, we've got weapons. Yes, the cat is out of the bag. Ain't but a handful of men watch me anyway, ladies. But the cat is out of the bag. We've got weapons. And we use them. And sometimes we misuse them. God gave us these weapons. He gave them to us. But we're misusing these weapons, ladies. We're using them. And when you use them in an insecure way, then you're repelling that man. So what kind of weapons am I talking about? You're using sex to control him. You're using tears to control him. You're using emotional blackmail to control him. You're using silence to control him. We're using all those different weapons in our arsenal to control Achilles' heel, and we use that weapon in that relationship. And that's not right, and that's not fair, and you doing it, your insecurity is showing, and after a while, he's gonna get tired of it. Number 3, we're defensive and easily upset, sometimes even to the point of explosiveness. The man is like walking on eggshells. He doesn't know what the next phone call might entail. He doesn't know that when he come home from work, what may happen. He doesn't know what he's coming home to. Now, it's a good thing when a man doesn't know what he's coming home to in a good way, as in, am I coming home to a redhead today? Am I coming home to a blonde today? Am I coming home to, some sex appeal today? Am I coming home to the wifey in the kitchen cooking, with the apron and the stilettos on? That's a good thing. But when he doesn't know what he's coming home to as far as explosiveness and irritation and frustration and worry, and that is not a good thing. Honey, you're slipping showing when your man don't want to come home because he doesn't know what he's coming home to. He's afraid. Sometimes we look at these men, we're like, this big bad man, what is he afraid of? Men do not want to upset their women. They don't want to feel a wrath. Men do not like to feel the wrath of the woman that they love. And if they gotta constantly worry about if they're gonna feel that wrath, you're gonna start noticing that he's coming home later and later and later. Or if y'all all are not married or you don't live together, then you're gonna start noticing that y'all getting together less and less and less, or later and later, because he does not want to feel your wrath. He does not want to have to walk on eggshells. He does not have to worry about everything that he says out of his mouth. Is he going to upset you? Is he going to make you cry? Is he going to make you explode? Is he going to make you become violent? Ladies, your slip is showing. Number 4, in relationships, how is our insecurity showing? Our slip is showing when you are trying to alienate that man from his friends and his family. And a lot of women do this. You start alienating, and I know men do this to women too. But I'm talking to the ladies out there. But I know men do this to ladies too. But you start alienating them. You don't want them to have the friends that they had before you came along. You don't want them to have a guy's night out. Every man needs a guy's night out every now and then. A man needs it's not healthy for a couple to be together 24/7. I know that there are couples who sometimes we look at it and we say, oh my God, they're together 24/7. They have such an awesome relationship. And there's always exception to the rule. Always exception to the rule. But you gotta not alienate a man from his mama, from his family, from his boys, from his friends. Now it's one thing when you feel like there's something in the milk ain't clean. That's a whole different story right there. But when it's a legit friendship, legit relationship, legit, family member, then if you try to alienate them, honey, your insecurity is showing. Yes, it's showing. And number 5 and last, when it comes to relationship, you are constantly in need of his attention, his time, and his approval. The man, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about, alienating, from the family and the friends, but you want to be with him 24/7. He has no life. He has no hobbies. You are his life. You are his hobbies. He is your life. He is your hobby. And he doesn't have time for anything else. And you have a constant need for his attention. Honey, your slip is showing. When you have constant need of attention from a man, your slip is showing. Man, I'm telling you, you dating her from the beginning and she has constant need for your attention. Yeah, it's cute at first. But honey, when her slip starts showing, when her insecurity starts showing, it's going to be a real drag. It's going to be a burden. It's going to be like a monkey on your back when you ain't got no breathing room. And you always need his approval. Everything you do, you need his approval for something. I can't do this without, a man's approval. Now, that's one thing when you get married and you make certain decisions together. You're supposed to make certain decisions together. But you should be able to make certain decisions on your own. Going out to lunch with your girlfriend, making certain little small purchases. But when you need his approval for everything, or worse yet, he needs your approval for everything, and that's even more so when your insecurity is showing, when he needs your approval for everything. A man should not have to have your approval for every little thing that he does, every little place that he goes, every little conversation that he has with someone else, every little decision that he makes, etc. If he needs your approval for everything, it's because your insecurity is showing. So if any of these, like I said, one of them, you might say, well, that's me kinda, but the other things don't pertain to me, then hey, that could just be a coincidence. But if 2, 3 of these things, 4, 5, honey, your insecurity is showing. And what if we are insecure? What if we are insecure? And if you're insecure personally, you're definitely going to be insecure in a relationship. So one just plays into the other. But if you are insecure, what if you are insecure? There are many, many reasons. There's a plethora of reasons why we will be insecure. And that's a whole nother video. There's nothing we can do about what happened in our past. There's absolutely nothing we can do about the components of our life that made us arrive to this place of insecurity. But what can we do now? What can we do today to change this, to fix this? Admit it. First of all, admit it. Now, I know everybody listening to me is not insecure. I understand that. I know I got some very secure, awesome, beautiful, wonderful, blessed ones. And many of you are very secure. Those of you who are just watching this for entertainment purposes and you are very secure and have a good, healthy self-esteem, then just post it on your Facebook or tweet it, retweet it, whatever. for someone else because we all know some insecure women, right? I don't care how secure we are, we know some insecure women. So you are, any of my videos that I post, you are so welcome to share them, Facebook, etc. But I know that everybody that I'm talking to is not insecure. So don't get all in your feelings. She ain't talking to me. I'm secure in mine. Because I know everybody's not insecure. But if you are, admit it. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you're insecure. And then number 2, do some things to fix it. Do your research. How can I fix it? I did a little research, and then some stuff I just came up with, for myself. But this is what I came up with. I'm just going to say this really quick because I know this video is probably 30-something minutes long. Probably one of my longest videos. But keep yourself in good company. Keep yourself with other positive women and women who have good, healthy self-esteem, and women who their insecurity is not just all over the place. Because when you just a bunch of insecure women together, that is not good. Number 2, read uplifting stuff, uplifting magazines. Look at visual things that looks like ourselves, that reflects back to what we look like. What I mean by that is, if you're a big girl, look at periodicals or magazines or publications, whatever, that caters to the big girl. If you're African American, if you're Hispanic, or whatever ethnicity, and maybe you don't see enough representation of that in the media, then seek that out. Look for it in the magazine so that you can see that representation. And watch uplifting vids like this one, although it's taking forever. But watch other like-minded or people, or not like-minded, because if you're insecure you don't want to watch like-minded people, but I mean, look at people that you aspire to be like. That's what I'm trying to say. Y'all got that? Okay, and recognize the source. Recognize why it is that you're insecure. Like I said, there's a plethora of reasons, and those are your own. But think about it. Is not having a father in your life, or not having a good father in your life, or maybe was your mom insecure? Did she pass it along to you? Maybe you had great parenting, but some boy came along and broke your heart, or some man came along and broke your heart, or maybe it's just media. Maybe it had nothing to do with the guy, but it's just the images in media, and you don't find anything that represents you, etc. There are, like I said, all kinds of reasons, but identify the source. Why is it that I have such low self-esteem, or all of these insecurities? Also keep a journal. Now, I don't keep a journal, never kept a journal. I just can't keep up with journals, but this is my verbal journal right here. But keep a journal, and then you can look back and read it, and you can see where all those feelings and stuff coming from. And also to ask yourself, this is number 6, ask yourself questions. About those feelings. Why are you having these feelings? Why do you dislike this person? Why are you envious? Why are you being so easily upset? And a lot of times, if you ask yourself the questions, you realize it's not them. It's not, you're projecting your hurt, you are projecting your anger, you're projecting your insecurities on others. So a lot of times, if you just ask yourself the questions, yourself will answer those questions. And lastly, y'all know it wouldn't be a video of mine without saying pray. Sometimes you got to pray that stuff, the insecurities off you. Yes, pray. You got to know whose you are. You got to know who you are, whose you are, and you got to know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And if you don't know that, pray that God will open up your heart, open up your mind, open up your understanding to who He created you to be, uniquely you, not to look like someone else, not to be someone else, not to become someone else, but to be uniquely you, and to embrace all that uniqueness in you, and embrace and love it, and not just embrace and love it, but to share it with others, and to help bless somebody else who may be going through what you had gone through with their insecurities. Okay, you guys, I have gone on forever, and if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you. Honey, pull that slip up, adjust that slip, adjust those insecurities. Don't let your insecurities show. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.